Hey YouTube people, and hello to all my new subscribers. I am doing an update on this newborn free, which is the MLU08. Okay, I don't have to tell you guys how long she is, because if you own her already, then you already know that she's anywhere from 35 to 40 inches. Okay, and I can kind of back up a little bit so you can see that. You probably still can't see it, so I'll just lift it up like this. Okay, as you can see, I had to do a little something with the part. I didn't like the way the part looked that they created, so I just created one of my own. After all, it is a 4x4, but as you can see, it's going to need a little doctoring, which I have not done. But the other way that they were doing it, the other way that they have it is just not acceptable, because everything comes to a point, and the cap itself kind of sits up. So I'm giving it 4.5 stars. The idea of actually flipping it inside out and putting it on a wig form with the intent of changing the cap and making it a little bit more, closer to the scalp, that just doesn't work. I've tried it with other wigs where I've had this complaint, and it didn't work on them either. So for now, this is what I've done. And from time to time, I can flip this over. Let's see if you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, that's the original part that they give you. And I flipped it over because if I wear this their way, then you can see this curve, and it should be more straight, so that if I were to wear it down the middle, it won't come to a point, and the cap itself won't be so high up. And I know it's not my hair that causes that, it's just the construction of this cap. Now I'll tell you, I'll propose an idea, and you guys can agree with me if this would be a wonderful idea. Wouldn't it be great if the wig companies made a 42 to 50 inch synthetic wig, long and straight, with a human hair hybrid, and make it whole lace with a cap that is flesh tone? Okay, since this is marketed to African American women anyway, why not make it like that? And actually they can make a wig with different caps. In other words, you can make the cap in a dark tone for African American women, and you can make it in another type of flesh tone for Caucasian and other women that don't need a dark scalp. That would be fantastic. Okay, because if they're going to charge $59.99 for the one that's supposed to be 40 inches with human hair, then why don't they just make all of them whole lace or full lace? If you don't know what that means, full lace means that you can part it anywhere on your head. If anybody remembers the Elf wig, Elf was a wig you could part anywhere, but the only problem with it is that the cap was so big, so you had to glue it down, and the back of the cap was black. So if you parted the hair back there, you got this black scalp showing. Other than that, it was great. The hair had a really short shelf life, like I'm afraid that this hair is going to have, meaning that after a couple of wears, you get comfortable with it, it gets tossed around in the wind, you spend time trying to brush it to bring it back to a more human look, and then all of a sudden it starts to clump and get thick at the ends. And that's just basically what synthetic hair does. I have a history with synthetic hair. I used it when I used to braid my hair, and it's an issue. So I'll show you what it was I was trying to take advantage of this 4x4, and you can, but I will have to go in there and use something down the middle. But yeah, there is a part, I just not in front of my mirror where I can show you guys, but you know what I'm trying to do. And at least when you do it, you don't use their part but your own. You kind of get this. And isn't this basically what we're all after? This looks so much better, in my opinion, than this, where it all comes to a point. That's what I was trying to mention here, and that's why I give it 4.5 stars. I don't have a problem with the hair itself, because it seems to be a better quality than some of the long hair wigs that I have owned by Bichet, i.e. Bichet 303 or Bichet 301, where they come in black, brown, and purple. So I had gotten those, and I decided I was going to make braid wigs out of them, and that didn't work. So I've only got the purple one left. But it did clump at the ends. So I called myself curling it, like I probably will wind up doing with this. And the curls got fuzzy after a while. So that's when you know you got to get rid of a wig. But if it should happen, if this happens, and let's say I give it a month and the wig starts to do that, then it's in the trash. Simple. I'm not gonna, fool around with cutting it and trying to restyle it and do all that, because you just shouldn't have to go through that with synthetic hair. You just shouldn't. If it's good quality, you really shouldn't do that. There's a wig shop around the corner from me that I guess a lot of Hollywood people go to, and they don't have a synthetic wig in their group that isn't less than $120 something. But the synthetic is lovely. And I haven't bought one of those, but I can tell that there are different grades of synthetic hair, and you will pay for them depending on the grades. I really think there are different grades. I do. I don't know why I think that, but I do. And this one so far seems to be okay. And I'm not the kind of person that wears a wig for a month and then does a review on it, because a lot of times I switch my wigs around and I cannot do a review after a month because I don't wear a wig straight for a month. I don't think there's a such thing as a synthetic hair wig that you can wear for a month or two without having to do anything to it, or you can wear for a month or two and it still looks as great as it did. I mean, maybe, I don't know. I still think you have to switch your wigs out in order to avoid them getting all messed up due to your body heat. That's the only thing that affects them. They don't work well under warm conditions, except when you are curling it or you're flat ironing it. And even after time, it's going to get tired of that. All right, so 4.5 stars is what I give this wig. She's great if you can deal with the part. She's great if you can deal with the fact that when you carry a purse, she's going to get caught in the purse. But if you're used to long hair, and I am, then you're going to give it 4.5 stars too, unless the part doesn't bother you, and you're going to give it 5. All right, that's my review. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. Bye.